प्रकाश ठाकुर की, षड गोस्वामी प्रभु की, प्रेम सको श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की, श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की, श्री श्री गौरताय की, श्री श्री लक्ष्मण की, श्रीमद्भागवतम की ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 20, verse number 2. Śrīr-Bhalīr-Vāca Satyam Bhagavatam Śrīr-Bhalīr-Vāca Satyam Bhagavata Proktam Dharmadeta Karichit. Śrīr-Bhalīr-Vāca Satyam Bhagavata Proktam Dharmoyam Gramedinam Artam Kamam Ishovrittim Yona Bhadeta Karichit. Śrīr-Bhalīr-Vāca Satyam Bhagavata Proktam Dharmoyam Gramedinam Artam Kamam Ishovrittim Yona Bhadeta Karichit. Bhagavata Proktam Dharmoyam Gramedinam Satyam Bhagavata Proktam Dharmoyam Gramedinam Artam Kamam Ishobhritim Yona Bhadeta Karichit. Śrīr-Bhalīr-Vāca Satyam Bhagavata Proktam Artam Kamam Ishobhritim Yona Bhadeta Karichit. Śrīr-Bhalīr-Vāca Satyam Bhagavata Proktam Dharmoyam Gramedinam Artam Kamam Ishobhritim Yona Bhadeta Karichit. Word meaning. Śrīr-Bhalīr-Vāca Maharaj said, Satyam is truth. Bhagavata, by your greatness. Proktam, what has already been spoken. Dharma, a religious principle. Ayam, that is, Gramedinam, especially for the householders. Artham, economic development. Kamam, sense gratification. Yashavritim, reputation and means of livelihood. Yaha, which religious principle? Na, not. Bhadeta, hinder. Karechit, at any time. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Bali Maharaj said, as you already stated, the principle of religion that does not hinder one's economic development, sense gratification, fame, and means of livelihood is the real occupational duty of the householder. I also think that this principle is translation and repetition. Bali Maharaj said, as you already stated, the principle of religion that does not hinder one's economic development, sense gratification, fame and means of livelihood is the real occupational duty of the householder. I also think that this religious principle is correct. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Bali Maharaj's grave answer to Shukracharya is meaningful. Shukracharya stressed that one's material means of livelihood and one's material reputation, sense gratification, and economic development must continue properly. To see to this is the first duty of a man who is a householder, especially one who is interested in material affairs. If a religious principle does not affect one's material condition, it is to be accepted. At the present time, in this age of Kali, this idea is extremely prominent. No one is prepared to accept any religious principle if it hampers material prosperity. Shukracharya, being a person of this material world, did not know the principles of a devotee. A devotee is determined to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead to his full satisfaction. Anything that hampers such determination should certainly be rejected. This is the principle of bhakti. Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varchanam. To perform devotional service, one must accept only that which is favorable and reject that which is unfavorable. Bali Maharaja had the opportunity to contribute everything he possessed to the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadeva. But Shukracharya was putting forward a material argument to hamper this process of devotional service. Under the circumstances, Bali Maharaja decided that such hindrances should certainly be avoided. In other words, he decided immediately to reject the advice of Shukracharya and go on with his duty. Thus he gave all his possessions to Lord Vamanadeva. Thus in the purport. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshadharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This chapter talks about how Bali Maharaja surrenders everything to Lord Vamanadeva. So Bali Maharaja, Vamanadeva went to Bali Maharaj. He was performing sacrifice. He asked for some charity. He asked only 3 steps of land to the measurement of this. So Bali Maharaja tried to convince Vamanadeva that you are a small boy. You are not very intelligent in regard to your self-interest. You approached a king who is the owner of everything and asking some small steps of land, measurement of land. Therefore, you are not very intelligent. When you take something from me, you should maintain the property entire life, not only you, your children and grandchildren, everyone. That's what you take. So Vamanadeva was putting argument. I am a Brahmana. A Brahmana should not take more than what he requires. If I am not satisfied with the 3 steps of land, even if you give me everything, entire world, I will not be satisfied. So he tried to convince this much is enough for me. So Bali Maharaja said, okay, what can I do? You are very much adamant, stubborn in taking only 3 steps of land, measurement of land. So okay, take, all right. The moment Bali Maharaja gave word to Vamanadeva, understanding the situation, immediately Shukracharya came and blasted the disciple Bali Maharaj. What kind of fool you are! Giving your word to this person, you are bringing danger, not only to you, to all of us. This is not good for you. This small boy, Vamana, is not a Brahmana. He is Sakshat Lord Vishnu. You gave him 3 paces of land. This person will occupy everything in 2 steps. Anyway, 3rd step will not have to give. Anyway, you are not going to fulfill your promise. For not fulfilling your promise, you will go to hell. Better not to fulfill the promise. Don't accept. No need to. You can reject. You can withdraw your word that you have given to this Brahmana. Because when we give something, when we chant with Om, it must be executed. Since you did not chant the word Om, you can withdraw your word. He was trying to put a lot of argument how to withdraw your promise, withdraw your word to this Brahmana. And in the previous chapter, he concluded, to flatter a woman, one can speak a lie. In a marriage, one can speak a lie. To protect oneself from danger, one can tell a lie. To protect others, one can tell a lie. Even if you lie, that's not sinful. It's not condemned. Better withdraw your word. This was the argument put forward by Shukracharya to Bali Maharaj. So after hearing everything, all the words spoken by Shukracharya, he thought for a while, remained silent. So in this entire conversation was discussed between Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Shukadeva Goswami explaining this everything to Parikshit Maharaj. So in the previous verse, it is said, Shukadeva Goswami said to Parikshit, when Bali Maharaja was thus advised by his spiritual master, Shukracharya, his family priest, he remained silent for some time. And then, after full deliberation, he replied to his spiritual master as follows. So far, Shukracharya argued how one can withdraw one's word. Now, Bali Maharaja, after hearing from his spiritual master, is going to argue how one should maintain his word. He did not want to follow Shukracharya's word. He is going to argue how I should maintain my word that I have given. So here it is concluded that Bali Maharaja is rejected his spiritual master Shukracharya. It is a duty of a bona fide disciple to abide by the instruction of his spiritual master. Here Bali Maharaja is going to refuse to follow the instruction given by his spiritual master. Why? Because Shukracharya, being the spiritual master, he deviated from his duty. If any spiritual master deviates from his duty, he should be deserved to be rejected by disciple. So who is Shukracharya? He is not actually spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master. Who is a real spiritual master or a bona fide spiritual master? A bona fide spiritual master is a 100% Krishna consciousness devotee. Bona fide spiritual master is a 100%, 100% is a Krishna conscious. And he has the power to deliver his disciples from the clutches of birth and death. He is called a bona fide spiritual master. There are three kinds of spiritual masters are there. One is called Diksha Guru, initiating spiritual master. Second is called Siksha Guru, giving instructions, instructing spiritual master. A Diksha Guru is the one who is Uttamadhikari, who is Mahabhagavata, who is a first class devotee. He has the power to deliver his disciple from the clutches of birth and death. And Madhyamadhikari or Siksha Guru, he can be a Madhyama Adhikari. He can be Uttama Adhikari also or Madhyama Adhikari also. Just to give instruction to his disciple how to make advancement in devotional service. It's called Siksha Guru. And third Guru is called Vartama Pradarshaka Guru. Anyone who gives information about God, first information about God, is called Vartama Pradarshaka Guru. Just like a Suniti, mother of Dhruva Maharaja. When Dhruva Maharaja was insulted, immediately went to his mother and started crying. And mother said, if at all you want to occupy the throne of your father, you must satisfy Lord Vishnu. You must satisfy Lord Narayana. He is in the forest. Immediately go. Go to forest and satisfy me. He will fulfill all your desires. Mother Suniti, although small boy, 5-year-old boy, is supposed to play, but mother so much detached, and she instructed, go immediately without delay. Go to forest. Because she had this one quality of sending her son to God, to search for God. She went back home, back to God. Just only one quality she had. She did not undergo tapasya. She did not realize Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, nothing. Just told her son, please go to forest. Do tapasya, to please Lord. That's all. That one qualification made her to go back home, back to God, along with her son. That should be the quality of a mother. And even Bilvamangala Thakur, he was very much attached to a prostitute. Even when he lost his father, after burning the body, immediately went to the house of prostitute, Chintamani. So she was very much frustrated. What is person? In this condition, he underwent too much tribulation to reach her home. And said to Bilvamangala, my dear Bilva, you got so much attached to this body. It's nothing but flesh and bone. If the same attachment you had for Krishna, your life is completely different. Only one instruction she gave. Chintamani gave only one instruction. The same attachment what you have got for me, if you have got for Krishna, your life is totally different. That one instruction, she became a guru. So when he compiled Krishna Karnamrita, first he offered his respect to Chintamani, who gave the first instruction about Krishna to him. Then next is Swamagiri, is initiated spiritual master. So there are three kinds of spiritual master. Initiating spiritual master must be a Uttamadhikari. Siksha Guru can be in any platform, just to give instruction. Vardhama Pratrasha Guru, he also can be in any platform. These are three gurus. So when we have got some confusion in our subject, when we are studying the schools, when we have got doubts in mathematics or physics or chemistry, we used to go to teacher, respective teacher, and get clarified our doubt. If a person is confused about his duty, then he should approach a bona fide spiritual master. Only a bona fide spiritual master can give the proper instructions of what is the ultimate duty of everyone. Just like Parikshit Maharaj, when he was cursed by Shringi, he left everything and went to bank of Ganges. And even happened to meet Shukadeva Goswami, he asked the first question, what is the duty of everyone? Especially one who is going to die. So every human being must ask this one question, what is our duty? So even Arjuna was confused on the battlefield. He approached Krishna. Krishna gave him the transcendental knowledge. He attained success. If anyone wants to know the truth, if he is really serious in knowing the truth, ultimate truth, then Krishna, being a Paramatma, he instructs such a sincere soul, you go and approach this person. He will guide you what is the goal of life. When that sincere soul approach a bona fide spiritual master like Prabhupada instruct that disciple and take him back home, back to Godhead. When Sanatana Goswami, he was very well versed in scriptures, a minister, even material person, he was scholar, minister. When he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, my dear Lord, who am I? I don't know actually who am I. I do not know what is good for me, what is not good for me. If I do not know this, what is the use of this life? He was a scholar. He knows many languages. He was a minister. Nonetheless, he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with full submission and asked, Ke ami kene amaya jare tapatriya. Iyanai jani kemene itahaya. Ke ami, my dear Lord, ke ami, who am I? Jape tapatriya. Why I am subjected to threefold miseries? Tapatriya. Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidaivika. This is called Tapatriya. Why I am subjected to threefold miseries? Hiyanai jani. If I do not know this, Kemene itahaya. How can I be benefited? And people are calling me a scholar. Although I do not know who am I. I am also thinking I am a scholar. Please tell me, who am I? A person should serious to know who is undergoing threefold miseries. So we can ask this kind of question to only a person who is a spiritual master, Zen person, Krishna conscious. He can give the clear idea of who we are. Unless we know who we are. Irrespective of our position in this world, our life is defeated. One may be a scholar, doctor, engineer, IAS officer, Nobel laureate, scientist, prime minister. If one does not know who he is, his life is defeated. Therefore, Lord Rishabhadeva says, Parabhavastavat abhoto jato yavan jignasata atma tattvam yavat kriyavastavat idam manohi karmatmayena sharira bandha. As long as one does not come to the platform of inquiring about Atma Tattva, his life is defeated irrespective of what is position in this material world. Whether one may do a pious activity or sinful activity, one has to perform some activity. Either it may be pious or sinful, but both has got a reaction for that. If one does perform pious activity, he will go to a heavenly planet. If one performs sinful activity, will go to hellish planet. But they have to undergo the repeated birth and death. They have to suffer. As long as we are attracted to the fruitive activity, so long we have to take birth in this material world, undergo sufferings. If one is serious about his life, that I don't want to enter into the womb of my mother once again. I don't want to take birth again. What he has to do? If really one is interested to enjoy the eternal happiness, then he should seek a spiritual master. Tasmat gurum prapadyede jignashu shreya uttamam shabde cha pare nishnatam brahmani upashamashayam. If at all one is really serious to be eternally happy, if at all one is serious in eternal happiness, then one must approach a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by taking initiation from him. What is the qualification of that bona fide spiritual master? The bona fide spiritual master is well versed in the scriptures. Is well versed in the scriptures and will be able to convince others with the conclusion of the Vedic literature. Such kind of person who is well versed in the scriptures, one was freed from all kinds of material designation and was taken shelter of the Supreme Lord, he is to be considered as a bona fide spiritual master. There was one reporter asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, how can we identify is a genuine guru? How do we know this person is a genuine guru? The bona fide acharya, bona fide spiritual master. Prabhupada said, he is the representative of Krishna. The bona fide spiritual master is the representative of Krishna. What he does, he speaks only about Krishna, nothing else. He does not speak anything other than Krishna. It does not have any kind of material desires, free from all kinds of designation, free from all kinds of material desires. His only business is how to execute the order of Krishna, to glorify the Lord, speak about the Lord. He does not manufacture anything on his own. Whatever he speaks in accordance with the Guru Sadhu Shastra. One who is well versed in the scriptures, one who acts according to the Guru Sadhu Shastra is a bona fide spiritual master. After finding a bona fide spiritual master, what one should do? Tatra Bhagavatam Dharma Sikshet Guru Atma Daivata Amayanu Vrityaya Tushet Atmato Dohari. After finding such a spiritual master, taking shelter of such a bona fide spiritual master, what one should do? One should learn the art of rendering devotional service unto Krishna. One should learn the process of rendering pure devotional service unto Krishna. When a disciple, such a disciple, renders a pure devotional service without any duplicity, in a faithful way, favorably. When Krishna sees this disciple is executing the order of spiritual master such a nice way, Krishna becomes pleased and is sold out to such a disciple. Krishna is sold out to such a disciple, one who follows the instruction of spiritual master by rendering a pure devotional service without any material desire. Krishna is sold out. That person can capture Krishna simply by rendering devotional service, exactly following the instruction of spiritual master. He can capture Krishna. So the spiritual master should be 100% Krishna consciousness. Unless he is a resident of Goloka Vrindavana, he cannot become spiritual master. A layman cannot become spiritual master. A spiritual master should be able to deliver his disciple from the cycle of birth and death. If a layman becomes spiritual master, he can create havoc in the society. Nowadays we can see so many gurus are there, Jagat Gurus. Hundreds and thousands of gurus. They are creating havoc in the society, disturbing the society. So one should not accept anyone as one's Diksha Guru, except one who is situated in Uttamadhikari. So as long as one does not come to the platform of Uttamadhikari, he cannot give Diksha. When one attains the position of Mahabhagavata, then he is accepted as a bona fide spiritual master. At the time, we can worship that spiritual master as good as Hari. When a person attains that state of Mahabhagavata, at that time one can respect that person, that spiritual master is as good as Krishna. So when a person who is advanced in spiritual life, who acts with authority as spiritual master, when he speaks, whatever he speaks, that's not his own speech. It's coming from Paramatma. A bona fide spiritual master, whatever he talks, whatever he does, it's coming from Lord Krishna. Therefore, one should simply follow the instruction of spiritual master without any doubt. Just like when Krishna speaks, we should not have doubt in his word. Similarly, when spiritual master speaks, we should not have any doubt. Yes, this means this 2 plus 2 equal 2 means we should accept 2 plus 2 equal to 2. Krishna is not a fool. He cannot commit blunder. Similarly, spiritual master cannot commit blunder. Why? Because in touch with Krishna. So whatever he speaks, it's coming from the Lord. One should accept. So such kind of person, we should accept a spiritual master. On the other hand, if one does not have power to deliver his dependence from the cycle of birth and death, one can reject spiritual master. One can reject him from the post. So therefore, Rishabhadeva says, Guru nasasya svajano nasasyat, pita nasasyat, janani nasasyat, daivam nasasyat, napatishta shashyan, namochet yasampet mrityum. If one does not deliver his dependent from the cycle of birth and death, should not accept the position of Guru, spiritual master, Svajana, relative, Janani, mother, Pita, father, Daivam, worshipful demigod. You should not. Don't become Guru if you cannot deliver your dependent. Don't become father if you cannot give instruction to your son how to make advancement. One should not become father or mother or Guru or demigod if they cannot deliver their dependence from the cycle of birth and death. It is a duty of a father and mother how to instruct their children to become Krishna conscious, to make advancement in devotional service. If they cannot give this instruction to their children, they are deserved to be rejected. Bali Maharaja rejected Shukracharya. Why? It's a duty of spiritual master to instruct his disciple, give everything to the service of the Lord. And he is saying, don't give. Therefore, you are not my Guru. Similarly, a father, mother, if they are detrimental to their children's making advancement in devotional service, they are deserved to be rejected. At the same time, should give due respect to father and mother because they have given birth to us. We should not offend them, we should not insult them, we should not humiliate them. We should take care of them. At the same time, we should not follow their words. We should take care of them, but we should not follow their words because they are deviated from their duty. We should not reject them. Reject only their instruction. Accept Krishna. At the same time, we should have due respect because without their mercy, we would not have got this body. Therefore, we should give due respect to father, mother, everyone. At the same time, we need not to follow their instruction if their instruction says that don't become Krishna conscious. Like Prahlad Maharaj was exalted devotee, foremost devotee. But he rejected his father. Why? Because he was detrimental. He was opposing practice Krishna conscious. Therefore he rejected. 4 Kumaras rejected father's advice. Brahma said, my dear Kumaras, I have begotten you. Please get married, beget children. Said no. They rejected their father. Vibhishana was a brother of Ravana. Ravana cared for Vibhishana when he was a child, took care of nicely. He loved so much Vibhishana. But because he was against Lord Ramachandra, he cut the connection. Even though his own brother who took care of me when I was young, who raised me with love and affection, now he is against my Lord Ramachandra. Therefore, I will reject him. Bharata, brother of Lord Ramachandra. Kaikeyi is mother of Bharata. Kaikeyi wanted her own son to become a king of Ayodhya. Therefore, she planned something. Rama should not be here. Rama is there. People accept Lord Rama. Son will become king of Ayodhya. She was against Lord Ramachandra's wish. Not Lord Ramachandra's wish. She was against Lord Rama. Bharata rejected his own mother. He cut his connection with mother. I will never ever see your face. Get lost. Why? Because she did not have this knowledge. These are the great personalities. Similarly, Bali Maharajas also, sir, I do not accept you as my spiritual master. Get lost. Because he is a very intelligent person, Bali Maharaj is not a fool. Although spiritual master says, don't do, don't care for your words. I want to give everything to Lord Vishnu. You are putting block. I will reject you. I will reject you. So, in this verse, it is said, what is the second verse? If a religious principle does not affect one's material condition, it is to be accepted. At the present time, in the age of Kali, the idea is extremely prominent. No one is prepared to accept any religious principle if it hampers material prosperity. Shukracharya, being a person of this material world, did not know the principles of a devotee. A devotee is determined to serve the Supreme Lord to his full satisfaction. Anything that hampers such determination should certainly be rejected. It's a very, very important instruction, purport point given by Srila Prabhupada. Only Acharya like Prabhupada can give this kind of instructions. So in this world, people generally do not want to follow any kinds of religious principle, provided if that hampers their material advancement. They don't want to accept. They don't want to accept any kind of religious principle if it is detrimental for their material progress, economic development. Stop. Not required. People generally go to temple and do some puja. Why? Because they want something in return. Somebody starts business, so he will worship some god, expecting some lot of profit will come. So once a profit comes, he'll go and break some 108 coconuts. If it does not get any profit, he undergoes loss. He will not go to temple itself. He will stop. Why I should go to temple? Sometimes people may say, why you people are wasting some 2 hours in the morning chanting Hare Krishna? The 2 hours, if you invest the 2 hours in business, you can get more profit. 2 hours if you invest in your work, you will get OT, double the amount. So people, they don't want to take any kind of religion, they don't want to follow any kinds of religious principle because it hampers their material progress, advancement. Sometimes they go to a Lord and they pray, oh Lord, give me this. Lord will give. In return, they don't give also. Something they have to give. They don't give in return. There was one person, childless person. He went to a Lord, God, pray to God, oh God, please give me son. Give me a child. If you give me a son, I'll offer 5,000 rupees cash. I'll give 5,000 rupees. So in due course of time, his wife begot a nice child, baby, son. So the person was very happy. Then remembered his promise that he gave to God. God, I gave you my word. I must fulfill. I will fulfill. I shall fulfill. Slowly he is coming down. Then after due course of time, he thought, so God is owner of everything. Everything belongs to God. For him, 5,000 rupees is a peanut. For him, 500 rupees also peanut, 5,000 also peanut. So I'll give 500 rupees to Lord. 500 rupees. Then in due course of time, again he thought, for Lord, 500 rupees also peanut, 50 also same, 550 both are same. I'll give 50 rupees. Again time has gone. Why should I offer 50 rupees? I'll break 5 coconuts. I'll break 5 coconuts. After offering to Lord, after breaking, I can get back the coconut and make some coconut rice and coconut chutney so that there is no wastage in my offering. So that after deciding, I went to a shop, market, bargained 5 coconuts for 10 rupees. Give me 5 coconuts for 10 rupees. He kept on arguing, said it's not possible. Better you go to farmer. He can give 5 coconuts for 5 rupees. So it's a good idea. So let me go. So he started walking, 10-kilometer walk, went to a farmer. He thought, I walked so many kilometers. No, I should not get 5 coconut for 5 rupees. I should get 5 coconut for 3 rupees. So I went and started borrowing with the farmer. He was very adamant. So I can't give for 3 rupees and all. Why? They said coconut trees are there. You can climb. You can climb and get as many coconut free of cost. He thought it's a very good idea. But he didn't have any experience of climbing the tree. Started climbing, reached. So he was plucking coconut. He slipped and fell down. Broke his leg and went to hospital. He gave 1 lakh rupees. This is what happens to a person who gives commitment to God and who does not fulfill his words. Very instructive points. Sometimes we give commitment, oh Lord, I'll become member. Or I'll give this and so and so. Something will give commitment. So one should try to fulfill the commitment to Krishna or his devotees. One should not reject, why should I do this and all. Similarly, if anyone commits to temple that will come and do service, one should make sure the word should not become false. Suppose some devotee gives service, you come at 10 o'clock morning to do some service. Should be there by 9:55. Service may start 10 o'clock or 10:05, does not matter. But the moment we give word to a temple, to a devotee, that I will come to temple at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. to do service. The moment if he comes 9:55, suppose at 10 o'clock a devotee gives one service, you do the service. If you do the service, you will get 50 points. If you complete the service, you will get 50 points. If a devotee, that volunteer comes at 9:55, 5 minutes early, so you'll get a 10 points bonus point from Krishna. 10 points bonus point. Although service same service, not extra service, because obedient. On the other hand, somebody comes at 10:05. He does the same service, he'll get to 40 points. Both are doing same service, but one is getting 60 points, one is getting 40 points. Why? Because he's not fulfilling his word. So should be pakka when we commit. So Krishna gives the mark, not the devotee. So by following the order or instruction, our devotional opulence keep on increasing. The more, if we try to offend, judge, our points will come down. If we try to respect, give due respect to another Vaishnava, another devotee, even though he may be junior, then his bank balance will go up. Devotional bank balance, day by day, it will go up. The moment he thinks, keeps finding fault, keeps judging, day by day, is depleting his stock. These are the principles of bhakti. Here, Bali Maharaj knows the principle of bhakti. He knows the art of rendering service unto Krishna. He knows the art of rendering service unto Krishna. Sometimes, even when we used to go for selling books, many people would refuse to purchase Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because if we keep Bhagavad Gita at home, there will be Kurukshetra war. Everything will be wiped out. No money will be there in home. We'll suffer. This is the wrong idea. Fear is there. Therefore, even when I took Bhagavad Gita first time to my house, my mother immediately, so don't bring the Bhagavad Gita inside. My mother gave this instruction. Fear. Because everything will go out of house. Nothing is there already. So these are the false ideas, false conception of life that people have got. They don't want to accept this kind of things and all. Fear is there. They do not know the fact. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sir Vijaya Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Bhagavad Gita, there is always opulence, morality, extraordinary power. This is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. So wherever Krishna conscious is taking place, discussion about Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that place is filled with full of morality, power, influence, knowledge, everything. There is no lack. So one should understand this principle. One should not just, okay, why should I read Bhagavad Gita? No. Bhagavad is meant for understanding the goal of life, to go back home, back to Godhead. So one should accept everything like Bali Maharaj and give everything to Lord Vishnu. Whatever we have got, we should give to Lord Vishnu. And if one gives everything to Lord Vishnu, just like it is said, a devotee is completely determined, said, anything that hampers such determination should be certainly avoided. A devotee is determined to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead to his full satisfaction. Devotee, anyone who gives up connection to this material world and ready to sacrifice everything for the service of the Lord, he can capture Krishna. He can capture Krishna. When Durvasa Muni offended Ambarish Maharaj, immediately Sudarshana Chakra came to finish this Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni tried to take shelter of different demigods, but finally he could not get any shelter from anybody. Finally approached Lord Vishnu. Oh Lord Vishnu, you are only my ultimate shelter. Please give me shelter. Provide me shelter. At the time, Lord Vishnu said, my dear, a Brahmana, I am extremely so sorry. I cannot give shelter. I don't have power to give shelter. I am completely under the control of my devotees. He says to Durvasa Muni, my dear Brahmana, I am not at all independent. I am completely dependent upon my devotees. I am completely under the control of my devotees. I have no freedom. Even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all the great demigods are under the control of Krishna. Whereas Krishna is under the control of his devotees. Why? Because they have no other desire other than serving the desire of Lord. They have no other things other than how to satisfy Lord Krishna. Therefore Krishna says, my pure devotees give up all connection, wife, children, family, job, everything only for my service. Therefore they bring me under their control. Just like a chaste wife bring her husband under her control by sincere service. Similarly, my devotees who are attached to me bring me under their control by their dedication. I cannot give up such kind of devotees at any point of time. They are always attached to me. I am always in the core of their heart. Sadhu hridayamayam sadhunam hridayam tvaham mad anyatena jayanti naham tyabhyo managavi. My devotees are always thinking of me. They are attached to me. I am in their heart. I am situated in the core of my devotees' heart. They are situated in my heart. My devotees do not know anything other than me. Similarly, I too do not know anything other than my devotees. As devotees think, Krishna too think. I don't know anything other than my devotees. Why? Because they are ready to sacrifice everything for serving that Supreme Lord. Therefore, they capture Krishna within their heart. So Krishna is ready to reciprocate. He is eagerly waiting for us how we are taking up devotion service. The conclusion is that the spiritual master, 100% devotee of Lord Krishna, is freed from all kinds of material desires. Only that person can act as Sakshat Hari. One should take shelter of that kind of spiritual master. Just like a disciple can reject his spiritual master if he deviates from his duty. Similarly, a spiritual master can reject his disciple if he offends a Vaishnava. If he does not follow the principles, a spiritual master can reject his disciple. Just like a Madhavendra Puri, he had many disciples. One disciple is called Ramachandra Puri. He always offensive towards Vaishnavas. Ramachandra Puri was always offensive towards a devotee. He would always try to find fault with the devotees. Once he came to Puri, where Chaitanya was there, Ramachandra Puri was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Chaitanya would go and fall at the feet because he was on par with his spiritual master Ishwar Puri. So would fall at the feet and take blessings or offer respect, something like that. So this Ramachandra Puri is always critic about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He want to find fault with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very good name. So he want to find fault with him. So once he would call, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had one more associate called Paramananda Puri. Paramananda Puri, this Ramachandra Puri invited Paramananda Puri to his house, to his place, and he would purchase a lot of prasadam and started asking him, Paramananda Puri, please take, please take. He would induce him, sumptuously eat, would induce him to eat. After eating, what kind of sannyasi you are? Is it a duty of sannyasi to eat so much? Actually, I heard many times from many people, the associate of Lord Chaitanya would eat left and right, no control. Now I have seen personally how you people are eating, always filling up the belly. This is not a duty of sannyasi. Then once he wanted to find fault with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to his house where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would offer respect. And he saw some ants. You must have stored a lot of sweets in your room. Therefore ants are coming. What kind of sannyasi you are? Sannyasi means sannyasi. Is renunciant. You should not be attracted to this kind of opulent food. You are eating so much food, sweets. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his assistant Govinda, secretary, tomorrow onwards no more food. Give me only little rice and dal, that's all. One went to see his Guru Madhavendra Puri was lying because he was not well and he was crying, oh my Lord, this whole life I could not devote my life to you. He was crying. He came and said, if you are really situated on the spiritual platform, you should remember Brahman. You should be in the Brahman platform. Why are you crying for this body? Like that, he offended his own spiritual master. Madhavendra Puri became very angry. Oh rascal, get lost from here. I don't want to see your face. I am crying. I have wasted my life. I could not devote my life to serve my Lord. I am crying. This person has come on to tell Brahman, if I see your face, I will go to hell. Get lost from here. He rejected, denounced. A spiritual master can denounce, reject his disciple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected Chota Haridas Thakur. Just he looked lustfully at a woman. Not very major mistake, very small mistake, minor offense, minor mistake. Nonetheless, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected. I don't want to see his face. Get lost from here. Rejected. So spiritual master has the right to reject. Whereas our spiritual master Prabhupada, so merciful, so magnanimous. Even devotees sometimes commit mistakes. Many people left ISKCON, offended him. Some disciples, when even Prabhupada was there, they became a guru to give initiation. They want to get respect, opulence from the public. Offended Prabhupada. They rejected. They left. But still Prabhupada accepted them. When sannyasi fell down from their position, Prabhupada accepted them. Prabhupada never rejected. So Prabhupada is a totally different person compared to other so-called gurus or gurus. Prabhupada is the only one who accepted women in his ashram, in ISKCON. He gave so much freedom for everyone to practice Krishna consciousness. So compassionate to all the people. He did not see anyone, whether a male or female or young or old, black or white. He did not see any distinction. Simply gave his mercy to all the people. There was in 1967, he had many disciples. He thought this Westerners is very difficult for them to practice brahmacharya. So he thought it's best is let them get married so that they can practice devotional service. So he got them married, his disciples and all. So after getting married, he would tell them, you go to Germany, you go to France, you go to London, you go to this place, go and do practice and spread this message of Lord Chaitanya. Many people become successful. There was some couple, in 1967, Prabhupada got married, two of his disciples. Within a short time, the girl left her husband and went after a boyfriend. Prabhupada was shocked, cried, was so much disturbed to see his disciple, although he got them married, in front of him they got married, they gave promise in front of Krishna, Agni, Guru, that I'll maintain, I'll be with you, I'll be loyal to you, I'll be faithful to you. Nonetheless, she broke all her promise. But still Prabhupada did not leave her. She kept on calling, you have made a blunder. But still Prabhupada accepted her and made her become serious devotee. Later she came to the shelter of Prabhupada. Prabhupada never rejected. Many sannyasis said, they fell down from their position. Said, if you are not able to practice sannyasa, no problem, you become a grahastha, householder, but be peaceful, practice, never leave the shelter of ISKCON. So Prabhupada was so kind, although he can reject, but he never rejected any of the disciples, even though they committed mega blunders in their life. That is the greatness of Srila Prabhupada. So if we take shelter of such a spiritual master, then our going back home, back to God is guaranteed. We should follow Prabhupada's fundamental instruction, chant 16 rounds, hear Bhagavatam, follow 4 regulative principles, and preach whatever you know. Whatever you have got, you can give to Krishna, render service. That's all. Simple this, follow this basic instruction, then we can go back home, back to God. That is the purport of this verse. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Śrīla Prabhupada ki.